episode 341, Global from Asia. We're in 2021. We got a nice little case study with a friend of mine, and it's a good one. We're gonna get into some insights about getting into Amazon, exiting, and finding what you really like to do. Let's tune in.
Welcome to the Global from Asia podcast, where the daunting process of running an international business is broken down into straight-up, actionable advice. And now, your host, Michael Michelini.
Thank you, everybody, for choosing to put me in your earbuds. I know this is mostly audio, but I got the light on me. I feel fat. I think I am fat. I think all of us maybe gained some weight in the last year. I'm kind of letting go. I had my father-in-law's birthday was this past week, Grandpa Wong, and we had a nice birthday cake, and kind of letting go of my diet, I guess somewhat keto or low carb, letting it go. Seeing it now as I see myself on video here recording, sorry, I shouldn't even cough. It's dangerous to cough, but I just had my second COVID test of 2021 here in Shenyang, China. They want us to test twice a week. They're turning schools into hospitals and testing centers and turning teachers into nurses. Guess it's better than building a new hospital. They're converting schools to hospitals now. What a normal new way of life. Hope you are staying happy and healthy. It's getting really kind of honest, a little bit scary. More of my friends I talk to have gotten COVID, and it's getting to be like a normal thing. Let's just stay positive. I think that's just the best thing we can do. And to keep learning and keep challenging ourselves. I hope today's show is going to motivate you. Peter Luxembourg, really nice guy, really active in the communities in Hong Kong and South China, in our GFA VIP membership as well. Thanks for his support. We get to talk to him about his story, how he was from sourcing into Amazon and how he got out again and how he's still involved, and the thought process and the mindset, and there's some ways to differentiate. It's a really fascinating conversation. I'm really happy we got him on the show finally. He's been on a list for a long time. So let's take it away and listen to the show. We are proud to say Mercury.com is one of our sponsors here at Global from Asia. It's been a pleasure working with them, and we use what we say, or at least we try to use it, and we're actually using it. We're using this for our latest Amazon brand, and we applied for Mercury. We got it online, have our checking and savings account, virtual debit card, physical debit card, and we used a statement to apply for Seller Central, and we got Seller Central approved. So we went through the whole process. So far, so good. No application fee, all online. It's a dream come true for many people, because I know how much of a hassle banking is, especially U.S. banking for non-Americans, and they are helping those kind of people, and they're supporting the show. So if you want to check them out, they even give a little bit of a bonus to you and I, for using our link. So check it out at globalfromasia.com/Mercury. Hope to help you out with that. Okay, thank you everybody for choosing to listen to another Global from Asia podcast. Peter's been on my list for a long time, so I'm happy to finally get him on the show. Peter Luxembourg, he's a Swedish entrepreneur based in Hong Kong, Frost Limited, Amazon seller entrepreneur, Amazon consultant, and all around nice guy and really helpful in the community. So thanks for coming on the show and doing this with us today, Peter.
Hey, thanks, Mike. I'm glad to be here today. Yeah, we've been talking about having this for a while now, so I'm glad to be finally on.
Definitely.
And hopefully bring something to the table.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, even always we have our one-on-ones in Hong Kong in the past and in the community. So maybe just for those that aren't familiar, do you mind giving us a little bit of how you got started into e-commerce and business?
Sure. So like you mentioned, I'm from Sweden originally. I moved out to China back in 2007 in a completely different venture. Came across some Amazon sellers in 2011, very early on. And I jumped on the train in 2013 and started to develop my own private label as a side business to my full daytime job that I had. And in 2014, I felt like that if I want to develop it further to the next level, I would have to put full focus on it. So I resigned from that job I had, and have been working on Amazon since end of 2014 full time.
Awesome. Congrats. Yeah, I mean the wave
Yeah.
it's been growing like crazy. So you definitely made the right move. So I mean, let's talk about I think it's a fun story to learn a little bit of the story. So yeah, you're like in China and you're hearing about Amazon and e-commerce. So how did it start? Like, I guess how did you maybe start the products or the sourcing, the beginnings?
Yeah, and like I said, I the guy I came across in 2011. I mean, it was so early on. He was another Swedish guy. He was a former poker player, which had been living in Guatemala for years and
Wow.
making a living out of poker. And then he and a couple of American guys, they started this Amazon thing, and back then it was very hush hush. So they moved to Shenzhen, and the Swedish guy was actually a former university colleague of mine from Sweden. And we just bumped into each other on the street in Shenzhen.
Wow.
And I was like, what are you doing here? And he was like, what are you doing here? We hadn't been speaking to each other for over 10 years. It was quite fun. And he told me about this, B2C, Amazon and this and that. And say, John, his name is John. And I said, listen, you're a Swedish guy. Yeah, so my friend in Shenzhen then showed me what he was doing. And we were living opposite houses in a place called Shekou in Shenzhen.
Yeah,
pretty a lot of foreigners living there.
I've been there.
And he said, come over, I'll show you what I'm doing. I was working B2B. That was what I was doing in a completely different industry. And I came up to his apartment, which was a 3-bedroom apartment. And he and another American guy was sharing that flat. And in the living room there were sitting 10 people, like Chinese workers, picking and packing stuff, I was like, this is crazy. What are you doing, He said, no, we're shipping this into Amazon. So hold on a second. And the door rang and a DHL guy came and he picked up packages and off that went. And I was standing there for 1 hour watching this picking and packing and, bundling stuff. And they were doing very nice labeling, putting in some insert cards, and another DHL guy comes and picks up another box. And this was going on. I was like, this is crazy,
Yeah.
And we met a couple of weeks later, and he had moved then to another bigger apartment. And next time I visited him, there was 20 people in his apartment picking and packing. And he said that, that whatever he went to buy, whether it was Huashangbei or Lohu, he packed his bag and then they stuffed it and shipped it to the US. He said, as soon as it lands in our Amazon warehouse, it sells. The money comes in. So I told him, you have to tell me more about this.
Awesome.
So I was a little bit slow starter because I was, comfortable with my life, B2B, fixed job, fixed income. But I got curious, and eventually I started to work a little bit for him, especially on the sourcing side and operational side.
Okay.
Because he was traveling. So I took care of this when he was not around. And then he said, why don't you start? And I said, I don't know how to start, And he said, listen, there's this super cool ASM course, Amazon Amazing Selling Machine, it was it was not the first one. It was like the number 2, the second release they had. It was the course cost a few $1,000, but I thought, okay, if you promise you mentor me, I'll do the investment, and I'll be happy to take you in as a shareholder, and you be my mentor, and I work on this, and you help me and develop it. I said, sure. So I picked my first product, according to the model that the course was giving, and with the input of my new mentor, and that's how I picked my first products, and one product was amazing. Just the feeling you get your first sale. It was like I
Yeah.
called them up and said, I got my first sale. You know, they said, yeah, sure. More will come. More will come. Don't worry. I said, okay, cool. And off we went, you know, and like I said, I did it as a side business for a year before I dropped my job and went full force in. And
Awesome.
I was still living in Shenzhen back then.
Okay.
And then later on, I moved to Hong Kong, and I've been living in Hong Kong now for the past 8 years.
Yeah. Okay. Exciting, man. Really exciting.
Yeah, that's all.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, it's a good you made that decision. I think there's a lot of people. There's always this joke, right, in the Amazon community or the entrepreneur community that is it too late? You know, everybody always feels like it's already too late. Like there's too many people doing it. It's too competitive. You know, I think even in 2013, 14, I feel like people were saying that. So, you know, I think that's a very common issue now. I mean, what would you tell somebody saying that now? You know, I mean, I feel like there's always this hesitation, right?
Yeah, I mean, already, like you said, like 2014, there was like hesitations, like, is it too late? You know, and back then, you know, I think the Chinese IP addresses were blocked, so the Chinese sellers could not even open up
Yeah,
accounts.
it wasn't open.
And then a few years later, that was possible, and there were millions of sellers coming on board, and then one would see other obstacles like, okay, that's definitely too late, but it wasn't too late, right? So
Yeah,
there's every year there's always something that you would see as a threat or some reason why you should not start. But what I can see from my own experience is that the most important thing is that, first of all, it's not too late. And the best thing you could do, even though you don't find your perfect product, is just to jump on board and learn the ropes with something so that you cannot learn, right? I mean, every obstacle or danger you can foresee, that's good, of course, but don't let that stop you. Just let that kind of guide you in another direction.
but I think, you know, I guess one thing to note though from what you did is, did you do a private label from the beginning? Because ASM was private label. You know, I think your friend you mentioned was he doing private label, or was he just doing like arbitrage? Had his own listings? I mean, I think
No, he said the key of success was to own the buy box, right? And to own the buy box, you will definitely go for a private label. So there was never any talk about reselling or doing any kind of arbitrage of other products. It was private labels, straight on, own the buy box, own the customer, you know, and was his highest priority, which I have kind of inherited, was customer service, right? Really put the customer first, develop a product the customer wants, meet every critic or meet every review, comment everything, own the dialogue with the customers. That was his keys to success, because he said the more positive reviews he gained, the better sale got.
Yep.
Right? So private label, own the buy box, own the customer relationship as far as you can with Amazon.
Yeah, of course.
And get the review management in place. Yeah.
But yeah, so I think that's an important part to say, like, you know, your friend and you and what I think the key to success is having your, you know, I like to show, you know, especially, well, we have an advantage being in Asia too, but I think no matter where, it's owning the brand. I think the brand is the main value. Of course, you could get cash flow on Amazon or drop shipping or, you know, selling online, but I think the real value is in the brand long term, right? Like people recognizing and, you know, and then like you said, owning the buy box. So I think that was a smart decision, rather than some people, you know, they got high turnover, you know, and there's retail arbitrage, RA, you know, but I think we usually talk about PL, private label, you know, here, and then owning the, you know, like you said, owning the experience, making your own listings, your own photo, right? So you did all of that, of course, from the beginning, from day one, right? I think.
Yeah, that's what I learned. But of course, over the years, I've tried other things as well.
Okay.
Right, arbitrage. I've tried reselling.
Okay.
Tried different things. So yeah, I think there's maybe private label doesn't suit everybody, of course. There's definitely advantages with that. It also means that you probably tie up more cash because you have to buy larger inventory. So everything has its pros and cons, but I think if you're looking at building something long-term, an asset that you want to sell, I sold one of my brands.
I would love to, if you're willing, however much you could share. That would be an image. I think a lot of people always love to hear that, whatever you're willing or able to share. So I guess I don't know if you want to get to that step or if there's something more before to sell. Do you want to share, or do you want to go to the sell? No.
Yeah, we can. I think we can jump a little bit back and forth here because all kind of linked into each other, right? But to continue on that track, sure, my full focus was building a private label brand. I mean, I didn't want anything else disturb me, right? And then building another brand next to it that was not the same category, kind of to spread the risks and reach out to more customers. But if we rewind a little bit, what happened then when they opened up the possibility for Chinese sellers to get on a platform was that it put more pressure on being more innovative as a product developer or putting product offers there. Because instead of just buying something and then do private label and then resell it, it became more a competitive situation on simpler products. So that made the whole experience a little bit more advanced because you had to kind of combine different factories or actually develop your own products, not just buy something off the shelf and put your label on it. So it was hard to see those easy sell disappear, but it also put some pressure on you to kind of be more innovative and actually bring more to the customer, right? So I think for Amazon as a platform, that was a very smart move. First of all, to create that abundant catalog, but also to create more offers that the customers actually found more attractive on Amazon that they couldn't find in the regular retail. So,
Agreed.
So I was continuing building that until 2018 when I decided there was two ways to go for the brand. Either to partner up with somebody to make it a much bigger brand than I had built by myself, by my own resources until then. So I had a potential partner to work with, a Shenzhen company, which had the manufacturing capabilities and some other resources. So I could kind of bring them on, give up some equity, and then build it up. The other lead I had was that I got from one of the Global Sources Summit here in Hong Kong, was one of these online business brokers. That I started to talk to, started dialogue, and it ended up that okay, I list the brand, let's see what's happening. And in my private life, I had this. I married, I moved to Hong Kong, and
I know.
we had one kid, the second kid, and then the third one was coming in. I was like, oh my God, working full time, my wife also working full time in Hong Kong, and these kids just, require time and resources. And
same page.
Yeah, so you know exactly what I'm talking about. So when I had that, and I stood in front of those two decisions, whether to partner up and build the brand to the next level, give up equity, or to sell it and making kind of a soft, easy exit to get some breathing space, I thought that I'd take the second option because at the end of the day, I realized that although I built a brand, although I built some kind of an asset long term, there was too much insecurity in it, like how much more money I had to put in and how much money I would get now versus 2 years or 5 years down the lane. and I got curious how it is to close the circle.
Yeah.
It was just too tempting
Sure.
to just do it. You done it yourself.
Yeah, I've done it too. Yeah.
And for me, it was not a life-changing moment, honestly speaking, but it gave me a well-needed breathing space and time to focus on what's actually important in life is family. So it's I don't regret that decision for a second.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
That was fun.
Yeah, I think it's a common point that a lot of sellers get to, just like you're saying, I'll just kind of recap or put my spin on it. But yeah, you have the decision to scale or sell. I think we have some content about that too. It's like you get to a certain level, especially like you mentioned earlier, inventory, scaling and an inventory based business takes more capital, and to grow it, you got to usually invest more money into it, right? To grow more SKUs or to go stock deeper or to, go multi-channel or whichever strategy or multi-marketplace. So it's still a really good business, and there's a lot of buyers that want to buy at that point. There's that point where there's the people that build it from like 0 to 1, like you have done and I've been through. But then to go from 1 to, higher, like scaling, that's usually almost different kind of business. And some people, like, a lot of these buyers, investors want, or they're rolling up. There's more and more of these groups. Like I've been part of Alpha Rock, and then there's Thrashio. There's I'm talking to more and more of these investors that are rolling up these businesses that want to pick up businesses like you and have built. And so there's definitely this market, and it's a natural, even without Amazon, there's even entrepreneurs. There's a people like, I feel like, I don't know, I'll speak for myself, but I kind of like the early stage, but there's so many people that like that kind of take something less risky and pay a premium. Like, they bought on a multiple from you for your business, and they could then since scale it more securely. So it's a common point we all get as e-commerce sellers to scale or to sell. But I don't think there's anything wrong with this. I mean, to sell, right? I mean, it's also, like you said, it completes the journey. There's like an ending to the story, to the experience.
Yes, exactly. And I agree. I also like that early stage. I packed my bags and I went with buses around in China, in Zhejiang.
Yeah, I know those buses.
6 o'clock morning bus. It's cool, like hell. I'm going to see that factory, and I did that for a while, a couple of years, and I really enjoyed it, But at some point, it's like, okay, it's time to take it to the next level, or maybe somebody else is better on taking the business to the next level.
Yeah.
And I'm no expert in anything. I'm more like an all-eater. I like to know a little bit about everything.
Yeah, I feel similar.
So it was super fun. But people asked me, of course, afterwards, what would you do now? And I was like, honestly, I don't really know exactly what I'm going to do right now, but maybe I'll repeat, or maybe I don't. Maybe I find another product, or maybe I do something else. But for sure, it will be something Amazon related, because I enjoy the Amazon space. Amazon is the future, or e-commerce is the future.
For sure.
I've built up some knowledge for like 5 years. I don't want to throw that out of the window. So I don't know what to do, but it will be something Amazon related for sure.
Yeah.
So if I can continue
let's go with this next. Let's go on. Yeah, sorry. You can take it from here. It's great.
So, thanks to those Global Sources Summit, the meetups that we had in Hong Kong, and the trade shows and the summits, and the network that you develop over the years, both within the Amazon space, but also externally, people knowing that you are an Amazon guy, has brought new business opportunities in front of me. And that has mainly been then in consulting, like pretty much helping others get on the platform and to establish it as a sales channel to their existing businesses. So I have not been so much of a help to startups or entrepreneurs that wants to start from scratch. I've been able to give advice, but that has not been my core business. So I've been more working with brands that are already established in the traditional retail. And when I say brands, for me, since I'm Swedish, I'm more familiar with Europe than I am in the US. Those customers have mainly been European brands. So that means also that for them to go on Amazon has been to go on Amazon in Europe, like UK mainly, Germany, and France. Those three countries have been the countries I've been focusing on.
Okay.
So that's what I've been doing, and I actually I have two businesses in Europe today, which is my own Amazon accounts, where I also offer customers who don't want to have their own selling account, where they want to have some help with the management of it. They just simply want to get sales from Amazon, but they don't really care whether it's from their own account or from somebody else's. So I offer this kind of a resell or retail solution where they
nice.
pretty much, I use my account and technically speaking, I buy and sell, you could say.
Nice. Right? Okay, interesting. I didn't know that.
So I do that in those three marketplaces in the UK, France, and Germany. Not everybody wants to be in the UK or not everybody wants to be in Germany. So then I have a company set up which is kind of a very UK oriented.
I like it.
You have the VAT regulations, and especially now with Brexit, it has been very good not to have cross-border sales.
Yeah, it's a weird world now, man. See, such a weird world. It's like anti-cross-border globally now.
It's amazing what's going on there.
Yeah.
So I am not very politically oriented, and I actually don't understand why they really want to get out of.
Yeah, we're very similar. We're just business people. I don't like politics. Yeah, I don't know either. Yeah, but that's awesome. I didn't know about that. That's really cool service.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I'm doing at the moment. So there's every customer has their different needs, and I can't satisfy everyone, so I turn some down, of course, which I feel is not a good fit. Okay. I think the keys to success, or for everybody to be happy, is that there is a good match in communication and common goals and expectations, so that it won't be any friction. Everything has to be very clear from the beginning, and everything has to be well communicated and agreed upon, so that people can enter an agreement and exit an agreement without any hard feelings. So that's something I learned also from working with different customers, that the expectations are so different from what they can get from Amazon or not.
Yeah, for sure.
Can have great sales in physical retail, but on Amazon it's not Amazon suitable.
Agreed.
So not everything is going to sell, unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean, I like it. Yeah, it's the goal, like whether it's even clients or especially business partners, but to have common goals and expectations is a very important part of doing business with people. So this has been fascinating. I'm even interested. I mean, I know so many people want to get into the European market, but even me, I did UK so long ago, even before, so long ago. Like I'm talking when 2008 or something. I didn't know what I was doing, and I had a UK warehouse, but besides, since then it was like a huge nightmare. And it's true, it's totally different. I know some people are successful at doing this, but I think it's smarter to find partners like what you're offering. And so how could people, and then how could people learn more? I mean, I guess do you have websites or info? I know you're active on LinkedIn and.
Yeah, I mean, my website, frostlimited.com, is very consulting oriented. So we offer pretty much every resource that is that people need. I have a network of entrepreneurs that we all work together. But when it comes to this retail solution, that is something that I don't really market Frost as a company.
Okay.
So there's Frost is one of them, and then I have another business called Zoe that is doing this retail solution. So that is, like I said, it's nothing that I offer on a broad basis, because each and every client needs so much analysis and attention. So if somebody's interested to talk to it, just get in touch with me and I can show some references. And
awesome.
We can discuss it separately.
Okay, this has been fascinating, Peter. Thanks so much for sharing. Is there other, I guess maybe what would you tell somebody, we're just entering 2021, the show will be online in January. What's the general advice to people, getting into this or growing this, and I think we're both on the same page. E-commerce is the future. Amazon obviously is a dominant force in e-commerce in the West. What are some tips or feedback for people nowadays that you think, to wrap it up today?
I definitely think it's important to kind of network and get into those community.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Meetups. Of course, it's very easy information overload. So you have to be a little bit selective and try to find where your time spent brings you more return on investment, so to say. And there's a lot of good podcasts out there. And I think from all the podcasts and from all the kind of communities, etc. So if I have to be selective on where I spend my time or where I kind of listen to podcasts and communities. Of course, I'm based in Hong Kong. I like to be a part of Global from Asia with you, Mike.
Thanks so much, Peter. It's great to have you.
Kind of entrepreneurial spirit that's all around you and all the people that you interact with.
Oh, thanks for that.
So that I'll take as a general business advice and entrepreneurial inspiration. When it comes to more Amazon specific, if I'm listening to podcasts, I will kind of limit myself to stay with the Helium 10 guys. I like the Bradley Sutton stuff, what they're doing there. I like the case studies that they're doing, how to use the software tools that Helium 10 offers. And I think that's where I get most bang for the buck, both in terms of tools to use on Amazon when it comes to product research, and also from a little bit of a front end thinking in terms of product research and how to kind of put products out there, launches, strategies around that. So yeah, easy information overload if you try to listen to everything.
Mm-hmm.
So choose your channel, stick to that, and my high recommendation is the Helium 10 team.
Awesome. Yeah, I mean, they're doing amazing things. Of course, they have their software, but they do amazing content. Their podcast, everything that they're doing is really great. So awesome, Peter. We just made this just in time, and frostlimited.com is your consulting site, and then your LinkedIn we'll put on here. And it's also, like you said, it's a pleasure to have you in our community. You're supporting with our GFA VIP membership too, which is really appreciated, and really, really happy to have you also in our podcast lineup. It's been on the list. And we made it happen today. And it'll be a great one for 2021 is a good inspiration for people to take. I think it's also, like you said, I think what you've shared quite a bit today. I think my big takeaway was you took action. There's so many people that are like, listening to podcasts, going to these events, seeing friends of theirs like selling online, but they're just thinking it's too late, or is it for me? But you took, you said it took a little time, but you did it. You're still very early in the Amazon world, but there's so many people, even myself, I've gotten in and out, and I wish I had just always been in, right? But I've been in and out, and, but it's never too late. It's never too late to start, and when's the best time to plant a tree? What's that quote? They say 100 years ago or today, right? I think there's something, I'm wrong exactly, but it's like, today, build the tree today, right? We're in a new year. People are maybe not yet in it, but they should have some competitive advantage, right? I think it's fair. Try to have a little bit of an angle, I think, is also something to think about, but it's never too late, take action and execute, right?
Exactly, and it's not for everyone, but you won't find that out until you really try. And you should not give up, even though you fail first time, second time, third time. I mean, it's many people are suitable to be employees, right? That's where they feel most comfortable, and that's what they want to do. Some people are more like adventurous and they want to try and they want to be entrepreneurs. Then do that. But like you said, you get started and don't let a failure or a mistake or something kind of hold you back.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, I've made a lot of mistakes when it comes to product selection. I mean,
for sure, me too.
Here. The outcome is here. It's like, oh my God, how could I not see that? All the signals were pointing it should be a success, but it wasn't. And then, you try 4 or 5 things, and then one is successful. That's good enough.
Exactly. That's what is always the story. I guess the last part we can go on from. You never succeed if you don't. You got to fail, or at least people. If you're afraid of failure, you'll never make a success because you'll stay in below what it takes to succeed. There's a lot of motivational stuff, but but I think, like you said, we've all picked the wrong product. But the point is, you keep learning and improving and get into that habit. But this is a pleasure, Peter. I'm really happy, and I know we're both very busy, and I'm so happy you made this happen. And thanks. We'll link it up on the show notes, and this will be on our library. It's a good show for people to get involved and make things happen, which is what you've done, and it's great to see. Thank you again.
I'm in and out sometimes, and I'm trying to listen. I'm trying to contribute, but time is limited. You can't be everywhere at the same time. So.
Yeah, agreed. Thanks, Peter.
You're doing a fantastic job, Mike. Keep on rocking what you're doing. I think 2021 is going to be super interesting in many aspects. I think you're going to succeed with the global from Asia. Is going to grow, and I see there's more people coming in, right?
Yeah,
and
there is,
online in the future. Hopefully, we can have some physical events coming up.
I know, and we need some physical, but everything online is getting a little bit tiring. But we're doing our best, and appreciate that positive encouragement. Okay, I think the connection maybe is my internet, but anyway, it's a little bit lagging now, but. Okay, Theo, thank you again, really, and Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, Mike. Take care. We'll talk to you on the other side.
We're doing more and more for our members. We have GFA VIP members program. You might have heard about it before. We're going to be pushing it more in the new year. We love these podcasts. We love creating free content. We love helping people all around the world. That's what we started as. But we are working on more exclusive and private sessions. We have Andy Lee doing a private sessions on dropship tactics. We have our masterminds every other week on the first and third Tuesday and Wednesdays of the month, depending on your time zone. And we're working on helping getting more people together. So if you like what you hear, you like the guests, you like the topics, and you want to get on the inside, it would be really amazing to have you join us. It's application only because we want to make sure you're the right fit. GFAVIP.com. Hope to see you on the inside. Thank you so much, Peter. I really enjoyed that. Honestly, we didn't even have an outline. We were talking about the show, and I just said, hey, let's just make it like a case study, like discussion. So most of the times, those are my favorite kind of episodes to do. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope it motivated you to. I think my biggest takeaway was you just take action, right? You just make it happen. Like he's seeing other people selling on Amazon, his friends, people in the community just boxing up products, shipping it to Amazon, selling it. I know there's. One time it's like hopping on a bandwagon or FOMO, just like you might be feeling with Bitcoin right now. It's pretty crazy to see. So but it's also a good way to motivate yourself to take action, listening to podcasts, reading books, watching YouTube videos. Those are great. But if you don't actually take action, and it's happened to me too in life and business, if you don't actually execute, you're not going to have anything. You'll have this knowledge, but knowledge without action. I think I saw that in a school at the COVID test. They had these English and Chinese signs that says, knowledge is a treasure, some kind of thing like that. It's a translation of a Chinese business person saying, knowledge is a treasure, but without action is I don't know exactly the word. It was on those big signs in the inside of the stairwell in the school, but it says is not. It's, I don't want to say worthless, but it's not actual value. Knowledge is helpful and a treasure, but if you don't execute and take action, it's not going to be worth anything. So I do hope that helps you. So next week we're going to skip the podcast. It's going to be every other week. We actually already have the show after going. It's going to be a really good one. And we actually got the one after that going. But we got masterminds. Actually, it was really amazing. We had 4 good tables. We had 3 in Asia time, 1 on drop shipping, 1 on B2B with sustainability, and 1 on Amazon. And we had 1 in the US time, Asia time, with people on both sides talking about influencers, which is really fun. So if you want to get in on that, we're going to start to expand that more, and I'm trying to really focus on that every other week. So next week's the Masterminds for members at mastermind.gfavip.com. But no pressure if you're not ready or not willing, whatever. It's all good, but I'm focusing on that. It's just I'm totally overloaded, and we'll be bringing the podcast back the week after. All right? Thank you, everybody. I'm excited about the new year. Even though I have twice a week COVID tests, we got to stay positive. And it sounds bad to say COVID and positive so close together, but we got to, think of the bright side. Think of the new normal, and, if you're good at e-commerce, online business, you have an advantage. You got to use that, and I hope this show has helped you get there. That's it. Signing off. Take care. Bye-bye.
To get more info about running an international business, please visit our website at www.globalfromasia.com. That's www.globalfromasia.com. Also, be sure to subscribe to our iTunes feed. Thanks for tuning in.